Today we're taking a closer look at the iFi Audio ZEN Blue 3, a compact device that promises to transform your high-end legacy stereo system into a modern, high-res wireless streaming setup. No need to replace your amplifier, no bulky streamer cluttering your rack, and no outrageous price tag. But here's the real question. Can this tiny Bluetooth DAC truly deliver on that promise? Let's find out. Let's start with what the ZEN Blue 3 actually is. At its core, this is a high-resolution Bluetooth DAC and receiver. It takes the wireless signal from your phone, tablet or laptop, converts it to analog and feeds it into your amplifier. But this is not your average Bluetooth receiver. First, codec support. The ZEN Blue 3 supports SBC and AAC, aptX, aptX HD, aptX Adaptive, aptX Lossless, LDAC. Since I use a Samsung S24, I don't get aptX Adaptive or Lossless. Samsung uses SBC, AAC and LDAC, so LDAC is my highest quality option. And that is important, because LDAC can go up to 990 kilobits per second, which is significantly higher than standard Bluetooth audio. So even without aptX Lossless, you're still getting very respectable wireless quality. Inside, iFi uses a high-quality DAC architecture, and like many of their products, it focuses on clean power regulation and low noise. That's something iFi has always done well. Connectivity-wise, you have single-ended RCA inputs and outputs, a balanced 4.4mm output, a SPDIF output, SPDIF input, and a USB-C audio input. In my setup, I use the RCA outputs directly into a Yamaha AS2200 amplifier. Build quality is classic ZEN series. The curved aluminum chassis feels solid and premium. It's compact, minimal, and it looks right at home in a proper stereo setup. On the front there's a codec indicator light, which is actually very helpful. You instantly see what codec you're running, no guessing. And setup? Ridiculously easy. Plug it in, select Bluetooth, pair your phone, done. No app required, no complicated configuration. It just works. Now we get to the important part. How does it sound? Connected to the Yamaha AS2200 and Dynaudio Evoke 20 speakers, I expected it to be good. What surprised me was how mature it sounds. Let's start with bass. I played Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. That iconic bass line is tight, punchy and rhythmic. Through the ZEN Blue 3 the bass wasn't bloated or soft. It was controlled and articulate. The Yamaha already has a slightly warm and authoritative presentation, and the ZEN Blue 3 did not mess with that character. It simply delivered a clean signal. The kick drum had weight, the bass groove stayed tight. There was no noticeable Bluetooth smearing in the low end. Then I switched to something more atmospheric. Hello by Adele. This track is fantastic for testing mid-range presence and vocal realism. Adele's voice came through smooth, centered and emotionally engaging. The ZEN Blue 3 does not exaggerate detail. Instead, it presents a slightly relaxed but still resolving sound. It's not sharp, not analytical, it's natural. The Dynaudio speakers are revealing, and if the source sounds thin or compressed, you will hear it. But here the presentation remained cohesive and full-bodied. Soundstage was surprisingly good for Bluetooth. Width extended beyond the speakers, layering was stable, it didn't sound flat or congested. Treble was clean and non-fatiguing, cymbals had shimmer without harshness. There was no digital glare, no metallic edge, something that cheaper Bluetooth receivers often struggle with. Now, is this identical to a high-end wired DAC? No. There's a tiny bit less micro detail and ultimate transparency compared to a higher end wired source. But here's the thing. In a normal listening session, relaxing on the couch, streaming from your phone, it's incredibly satisfying. And crucially, it never sounds like cheap Bluetooth. For comparison, I listen to the same tracks through a Volumio Preciso DAC in my main system, connected via XLR to the Yamaha. The Preciso represents a more traditional wired DAC amp approach. Used purely as a DAC into the Yamaha, it delivers a slightly more crisp and forward presentation. In direct comparison, the Preciso produces sharper transients, greater perceived detail and a bit more energy in the top end. The ZEN Blue 3 by contrast sounds smoother and more relaxed. If you sit down for a focused AB session, the wired Preciso does have a noticeable edge in ultimate clarity. That said, and this is important, the difference is not dramatic. The convenience of wireless streaming with the ZEN Blue 3 is a big advantage. No cables, no dongles, no USB clutter. For everyday listening, the ZEN Blue 3 feels incredibly enjoyable and completely effortless. Let's start with the cons. If your phone doesn't support aptX lossless, like my S24, you're not using this device at its full potential. LDAC is still very good, but some users may feel they're missing out on the headline features. Second, there's no Wi-Fi streaming. This is pure Bluetooth. So if you're looking for network streaming options like AirPlay or Chromecast, this is not that device. And third, while the sound is very good, it doesn't completely replace a high-end wired DAC, if ultimate resolution is your priority. Now the positives. The sound quality is excellent for Bluetooth. It's clean, smooth and mature. It pairs beautifully with a serious system, build quality is outstanding at the price, codec support is future-proof, setup is effortless, and perhaps most importantly, it makes your hi-fi system feel modern without losing its analog soul. So, who's the ZEN Blue 3 for? If you have a quality amplifier and speakers and you want an elegant and simple way to stream music wirelessly from your phone, this is a fantastic option. It won't replace a reference level wired DAC, but it absolutely elevates Bluetooth from background convenience to genuinely enjoyable hi-fi. And honestly, that's impressive. If you value simplicity, clean design and great wireless sound, the iFi ZEN Blue 3 is a fantastic choice. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.